okay? And this is, you know, basically drinking a little bit too much. And with the King of Cups energy there, it is essentially having, you know, suffering the consequences, basically, from having a really bad hangover from drinking too much. So that's something I do feel that could have potentially happened the end of July. Either way, I do sense that on the financial front, a lot of you are getting very, very good, like, reception. Congratulations, like getting the accolades that you deserve. You finally deserve the recognition that you need, or you know, just in general, you work really hard. I feel that for a lot of Virgos, like, your love life suffers because you work really hard, and finally all that hard work is starting to pay off. So you can, you know, take a breather, you can relax by the end of this month and enjoy time with your partner, for example. And I do feel in general you're finally getting the recognition that you deserve, so you don't have to, like, overwork, overextend yourself to prove to anybody. And especially a lot of Virgos work to prove to themselves that, you know, they're a good worker, and they just have a good sense of personal responsibilities and work ethics. So you don't need to prove to anybody, you do it to prove to yourself. But at this point, you don't even need to prove to yourself any longer. I do feel one of the elements that is coming through is that in the past, you haven't been sure if you were on the right track, okay? So kind of like that sense of divine intervention or divine guidance has been lacking. So you feel a lack of confidence moving forward with, like, work projects, with relationships. And you feel as if, you know, you had to push twice as hard as other people. Like for the past 3 months, you feel like you have to push so much harder, and you have to put in so much effort just to gain a little bit of ground. Whereas the other signs, I don't feel that they've had to do that. So you almost feel like life is not fair sometimes. And what I'm getting here is, you know, all that pushing is building up a lot of inner strength, is building up a lot of, like, resilience, and almost, you know, like even a sense of humor. So even when things don't go your way, you're still able to forge ahead and push ahead, and you don't give up, mainly because of the resilience that has built up over the years and the sense of humor that is helping you get you through it. And as a result, once you reach the top, you're going to feel like, you know, that much stronger, that much more capable, because you've had to push so hard and you've had to do it on your own, and you don't feel like you were divinely guided. So it's a very beautiful energy, and it's making you, like, appreciate everything that you have accomplished so far. But keep in mind, divine guidance is definitely coming through. So, you know, one of the things I would say, the only danger I'm seeing for this month is don't lose faith, okay? You have really successful cards, and, well, cards that are indicative of success and material gains, and also, you know, having that spotlight shine on you, and people are giving you the warm reception and the accolades that you deserve. So one of the main thing is, and this is weird for me to say to a Virgo, is don't let it all go to your head. Be humble, because the universe did help you to get there, okay? So whatever difficulties you felt you've had to overcome, just think without the universe's help, it would have been insurmountable. So humble yourself a little bit, and just know that you were guided along the way. Your faith was, like, gradually restored. Every obstacle that you came, every hurdle that you know, jumped over, or every obstacle that you had to break through, just know that the universe was there guiding you and giving you that inner reserve of strength in order to help you through it, okay? So that's the only thing I would say. As for everything else, it looks very, very favorable, and it looks amazing. So let's just start off first with this water sign here. I do see the King of Cups in the upright position. So in general, this is somebody that is going to be coming through a Pisces, a Cancer, or a Scorpio, male or female, that is going to be going through to give you a lot of emotional support, okay? So in the past, I do feel that you took a more complacent approach when it comes to achievements in life, and when it comes to like going after the things that you want, the relationship partner that you want, or whoever it is that you had your eye on, okay? Whatever it is that you value and you want to achieve or you want to acquire. For this month, you're not taking the back seat. You're going to take the initiative. So if it's this water sign that you want, you are going to approach them and you're just going to say like, you know, this is what it is and I want us to date and things like that. So it looks very favorable. And I do feel like this more straightforward approach is going to be bringing in a lot of new things for you and new opportunities, okay? So you're grabbing life by the horns and you're not going to like settle for less at this point. You know what you want and you're going to be more direct about doing it. And I believe I mentioned last week for the weekly reading in which you're taking a different approach when it comes to love and relationships in general. But I do feel across all aspects of your life, there's a more like of a go-getter attitude about you, which is very refreshing to see. For this month. And at the same time, working diligently is still on the cards. There's also that element of timing. So coming out, meeting investors, and things might be a little bit stalled, and you feel like ultimately, you know, you have to push once again because you're not hearing the right communication from other people, for example. So you keep pushing and you keep pushing and you feel like you hit stumbling blocks. But all of that is going to clear up. It's just a very minor obstacle. It's just to pull you back and rein in that energy until the timing is right when, you know, the universe can release and propel you forward. So there is going to be like, I would say like expansion, a little bit of a contraction coming through possibly from the 10th to the 15th, and then more propulsion, like expansion towards the end of the week, the month, excuse me. And towards the very end of the month, there is going to be a huge financial windfall, a huge payment that is paid out to you, royalty checks or even like commission checks, something of a significant value. And I do feel it is going to be related to a work situation, a work circumstances that you might have like negotiated for, that you fought for. And as a result, you're getting the outcome that you want. You might be like linked up with another person in a work partnership. Like if you work at a law firm, you might be, you know, nominated to be partner, for example. And as a result of that, there is going to be a significant increase in your salary down the line. So a huge increase regarding like a partnership, a work situation, even marriage, and a lot of money coming through as a result of partnering up with somebody in love or in your work environments, okay? So it looks really favorable. I do feel for this situation here, we have the Two of Cups. This is read as, you know, a very strong karmic soulmate connection, and I do feel it is a spiritual and emotional connection. I did mention this for one of the Scorpio reading that this is the meeting of the minds. This is having that very strong telepathic link with someone in which, you know, you look at them across the room and both parties know exactly what one another is thinking. And you can psychically like feel how the other person, you know, feels about you without words. So it's a very beautiful, soothing, and like soul connection between you and another person. And I do feel this situation is going to be in the cards for this month. Because the card itself is surrounded by traditionally, you know, like work cards, what I would say is you might meet this person in a work environment, or there might be like taking a work situation to the next level with somebody, incorporating them into, you know, your work environment, taking on that additional person into your group project, for example. So there is that that essence of having somebody who thinks exactly like you, either in love or in business, okay? So having a very strong connection here. It's a really strong, stable karmic connection. So I would say whoever it is, they deserve your trust. They've earned your trust, actually. So I mentioned earlier that Virgos are just you have a very extensive screening process when it comes to, you know, dating people, and they have to make the cut before you incorporate them into your life. So I would assume that you would do the same thing for your work partnership, so I wouldn't worry about this situation. But either way, you're going to feel this, you know, lightning bolt like out of the blue, very strong connection when you meet this person, okay? The only thing is, when it comes to just like timing and speed, it's going to work against you for this month. So be careful. And, you know, there is, I always say like, things happen on universal time. Like the universe has a time and a place for everything to happen, for things to unfold. And we always want to push for it, or we always want to like, I guess like we always want to speed time up, and we always want to like slow things down. So things are never like perfect, you know. That element of timing, it affects all of us. So we are not always like appreciative of the universe like intervening and dictating the time. For this week, though, timing for especially from the 10th to the 15th, I do feel for a lot of you, that element of timing is going to be destabilizing, okay? So, for example, you've met someone pretty amazing end of July, and you want to take the relationship to the next level, but there's like very little sketchy communication coming through from them. And it's because they're busy. So, honestly, it's because they're busy. The people in your cards are all showing up in very good positions, so I would say they are very good potential, you know, stable partners. But because they're busy, and you don't really know that because it's in the early stages of courtship, so you're kind of feeling left out a little bit, and you're feeling uncertain, okay, and unsure about yourself. So that is happening to test you, you know, how much do you really want this person in your life? What are you willing to do to fight for the things that you really want, okay? What are you willing to do, and what are you willing to like sacrifice? So for example, what I mean by that is this person is not responding to you. It's been 3 days, and you've just like, you know, started talking with one another. Are you willing to just let that relationship go, even though you feel a very strong connection? Or are you willing to let down your pride and just give that person a call and see if he or she is okay? So that's what I mean. Like, what are you willing to fight for, and what are you willing to sacrifice? So you're willing to fight for this person, but are you willing to cast aside your pride? Just on the off chance that you call them, they might not pick up, and you might think that like, oh, okay, they're avoiding my call. So I do feel here that things are kind of being stalled, so that you have to take the initiative. Okay, and then you have, by taking the initiative, you have to first decide on what it is that you want to do, set a game plan for yourself. And I mentioned this before, when Virgos have a game plan, it rarely fails. So it's just going to require a little bit more work on your end in order to come up with that game plan, which ultimately will basically solidify and make you think about and reflect on what it is that you really want to achieve versus what it is that you think might be a waste of your time. So, you know, universal time is a blessing and a curse. It is forcing us to solidify our plans, and it's forcing us to also like do things in a purposeful manner so that we don't scatter our energies far and wide. Because for this month, I do feel that a lot is happening on your love sector. Yeah, in general, I do feel like it's a lot of success in the business front, but also in love. So I do sense that since so many things are happening and solidifying, you're going to be in a state where you feel like nothing can ever go wrong. I should just wing it, you know, which is something I don't feel a lot of you are going to do. But I do sense that you have to rein in this energy. Take care of things in a systematic, timely manner, as indicated in these cards. You get one done, you hang it up, and you move on to the next, okay? Things have to be done in succession, because more than anything, as an earth sign, you need that innate sense of like regularity. You need that innate sense of stability in order for you to operate at your best. Okay, so don't don't mix business with pleasure. That is coming through. I don't feel there's any dangers associated with it, but for the first week, for the first 2 weeks, so like from August 1st until like the 9th, you're going to have to like concentrate, and a lot of reports or something like that, a lot of clients have to be approached, a lot of reports need to be sent out. So all this stall communication on the love front is being stalled to help you so you don't get distracted. So if you can think of it like that and just thank the universe that, you know, things are not bombarding you all at the same time, because it might lead you astray. So there is a sense of humility that is going to come in for you, and more than anything, I do feel that, you know, like, I do feel two major events in terms of success, you know, which is like coming in the first of the month and then coming in again around the 16th to the 22nd. And when those little, you know, bursts of success and recognition come through, just thank the universe for backing you up and giving you an opportunity for these blessings to come into your life, okay? And like slowing things down so that you can concentrate on one thing and not get distracted and not scatter your energy far and wide, okay? You know, a lot of Virgos are very systematic, and you have a very like, you have like a very, well, great eye for detail, but also like a very systematic mind. So you create checklists when you see order out of chaos, and you can create order out of chaos. So a lot of you are great in like therapy, where you can like where people can throw all their emotional baggage at you, and you can like sift through it, and you can identify, you know, what kind of personality disorder that person has. So you make order out of chaos, okay? And you're very good at it. And I do feel that I was going somewhere with this. I do feel that it's funny, but you feel that everyone thinks the way you do, and it frustrates you when you encounter people who think a different way. So that's something to keep an eye out for in your interactions, okay? And in general, I don't feel that's going to be problematic, but I do sense that you are like given a very meticulous, a very detail-oriented way of thinking, ways of doing, and just a detail-oriented brain. And you process information in a very clear, in a systematic way as well. And that's what's giving you this success, okay? So you don't need the additional, so trust your head. Trust your head more than anything, okay? There is a reason for everything. So I feel that if things were thrown at you, like, you know, from all angles, you might freak out. And that's why things are being stalled. One thing is coming in at a time. So work is coming in first, and then relationships will come for you, okay? So you're not overlooked. There's just a time and a place for everything. So take care of one thing first, and then the next thing will come in. And when you handle things, you know, one at a time, and you check them off as you go, that's when they have a greater chance for success, okay? So I was referring to the brain issue, and I feel like that's a message that needed to get across. And I do sense that for this month, don't rely on your intuition. Rely on your brain. Rely on your mind, and trust the things that are tangible, okay? Because that's where you're supposed to be headed, okay? The tangible things are the things that will give you success, are the things that the universe really wants you to focus on, okay? So never mind the staying up late at night trying to court, you know, somebody who doesn't return your text messages, who doesn't return your call. There is going to be somebody else coming through who is a little bit more physically, emotionally available. So what I mean is, you know, trust those tangible things, trust concrete actions rather than shifty promises. Okay, so that's going to be the important thing to carry with you for this month, and trust that you're on the right track, and that you don't need another person to bounce ideas off of. It's always nice, but you don't need it, because you have very good intuition, and you have a very structural mind that was bestowed upon you by the universe to get you where you are today. So trust that, and trust that you're capable, okay?